Super duper. Here we are. Hello. I have the pleasure of having Alotta Money and Sam from Async. How are you guys?
Fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me as well. This is really exciting to have a lot of money with us.
Yes, absolutely. I'm super excited. And actually I'm excited to co-host. I've never done it, so it's cool. I like this.
Yes, dream team.
D Dream team. Super. I think let's get right into it. And maybe you can start, Alotta, with giving us a bit of context on your crypto art timeline and when it all started for you and yeah, how you got into it.
Yes, it started in 2017. Somebody wanted to pay me in Bitcoin for a graphic job, and I started to look into Bitcoin. And first video I found was Antonopoulos' video, so I felt right in the rabbit hole because to me it was. More than money, it was a philosophical promise. It was something very interesting, and then I never stopped looking into crypto since. The job never happened. I wasn't paying in Bitcoin that time, and then I started getting on Twitter to learn a little more about everything, and I started making Twitter banners for friends and then for influencer and more big names on Twitter. And in 2019, Sparrow gave me a parcel in CryptoVoxel, and I started meeting people making NFTs, building galleries in CryptoVoxel for people making galleries, and I decided to start minting my own work in NFTs, and everything started there.
Oh wow, okay. I actually didn't know that. That's so interesting. And how was it like back in 2017? Like what was the environment, the setting?
Oh, I came just. It was in the middle of a bull run, or something like we're in right now. Except that it was not the same kind of bull run. It was a retail bull run. Everybody was talking about cryptocurrencies on TV, in the news, everything. So it was smelling the end of the bull run already, and it didn't last long. And when I started getting in this world, it was the end of the bull market, and then during these 3 years of uh, of low prices, it gave me time to meet people. There was not a lot of activities on Twitter, so everybody was reachable, and you could contact everyone. And I was working with John McAfee by the time, and he asked me for many visuals for his websites and Twitter account, and then he gave me I had to work on his presidential campaign and make every visuals, every all the merchandising and things like that. So I've worked a lot with McAfee before he got caught and got to go in jail.
That's crazy. I
That's
love this story.
crazy. What an amazing story. That's ridiculous. Uh,
Yeah, that's insane. And I love the fact that you said that everybody was so approachable and like the community was so small. I think that's something super important. Like I think I saw that as well. Like even a year ago from now, and it still is. I think in a
yeah.
sense, everybody's still super approachable, like at a DM away, basically.
Yes,
Um,
yes. It's getting harder now because there are lots of
yeah.
DMs and lots of people trying to get in and trying to grab the attention of everyone around. But that's true that 1 year ago we were still in a bear market. In March last year, Ethereum was under $100, so there was not much activities for everyone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so where did you do your first NFT? And what was your first NFT actually?
Oh, my first NFT was about cryptocurrencies. It was on OpenSea, and it was the empire crumbles at the end of revolution, and it was some kind of dystopian future, where every bank, every central federal bank is destroyed, and you've got a big tree in the background, and in the leaves of the tree you can see the Bitcoin logo, and you got all the actors of the FUD, everyone that is hating Bitcoin, that is looking like homeless people in the ruins. And so this NFT was the first I made. It was bought by a friend of mine who still have it, even if he's trying to sell it now. so it so it was my very first NFT, and then after that I applied at super rare, and by the time it was quite easier to get in. The walls were not that high, and I had the chance to have many sale records, one after the other, with collaboration I did with Givenchy, and after with Trevor Jones, and that helped me a lot to make it in the NFT world.
That's amazing. Sam.
Yeah, really fascinating. And I wonder, a lot of money, like, what was it for you? Like, was there a lot of appreciation of your artwork and sort of like a lot of recognition of your artwork prior to you collaborating with these folks, or did it really come after you started collaborating with folks like Trevor Jones, et cetera, et cetera?
I think the first time I had a recognition with my work was with McAfee, and when I came to the NFT world, it was the McAfee's friend is coming to NFT, something like that, and people were hoping to see McAfee jump in, and he never he never really did. Yeah, he never really did jump in NFTs. He does not believe in NFTs. I don't think he even understand what it is plainly, because the only time he wanted me to make an NFT with him, he wanted to give this NFT to everyone so everyone could download the NFT. So I had to explain him that it was not really the point of this. But yes. When I came to the NFT world, I was the McAfee's friend coming to NFT world, so that gave me some kind of help at first. Yeah. And the first NFT I sold were not at high prices, but that was quite enough for me. I was very happy to sell for a few $100s. It was something very important for me by then.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Actually, it's interesting what you said around like the theme of your first, let's say, like Genesis piece, which was about like cryptocurrencies. I think like if we go back to like the history of when like crypto art started, like a lot of the themes around crypto art are essentially around cryptocurrencies, because that's kind of like the genre, right? It's like a new genre of art.
And I think that every artist that discovered NFT because they were into crypto art, that they were interested into cryptocurrency, they were interested into Bitcoin, and as artists they were more interested in the promise and the revolution of Bitcoin than the money that could be made with investing in it. So all those people were trying to communicate this love for cryptocurrency and this hope we have with it.
Yeah, that's very true. And sometimes, like, when I have like some conversations as well around like art history and stuff like that, and it's like, actually, like NFTs is a medium, but like crypto art has a sort of genre of it, which is essentially about like cryptocurrencies, and that's what you can see as well in a lot of the let's say Genesis pieces, or a lot of the like older pieces around 2017, 18 are actually about like Bitcoin, and then like Ethereum.
Yes, and after it became some kind of it was mandatory to have at least an Ethereum logo on your NFTs. Then I stopped completely. When I worked with Super Rare, I almost never had my first pieces were not at all about cryptocurrencies, because I was feeling that it became too commercial to make NFTs about cryptocurrencies, and you were seeing the Bitcoin and the Ethereum logo everywhere with every sauce you can cook.
Yeah,
but it's still something that you use, right? Like it's still something that you.
But just when I have something special to say, or when I think that
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it in a way that I never did before. But it's not mandatory at all. Like I can see it in many collection and many art. People feel like they have to put the Ethereum logo on the background or something, because it might have a special meaning for someone who have a lot of Ethereum.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes total sense.
And shifting a bit to async, obviously, and like your first piece there, like what attracted you to the platform, and how did you kind of like discover it, but also like have a sense of what is programmable art? Like what did you think about it when you first like encountered
Well,
it?
but I already knew Conlan. You know, he
Okay.
was some kind of the mayor of the Gangnam part of CryptoVoxel, and so he was the first person who paid me to design something in CryptoVoxel, and I designed his first museum there. And from there, one day he asked me if it was possible for him to show me his project. He wanted half an hour to show me his project, and I was not expecting that at all. He came with a presentation, and there was the background. There were little animals, and he was explaining the principle of layers and of state changes and ownership of layers and things like that, and it totally blew my mind, and I know that it blew every other artist's mind at this time, because it was a new tool, it was a new palette that was given to us. You know, it was taking art out of space and time. We could do anything we want. It was connecting art to the real world. You were able to point the artist was able to point the attention of everyone on the data online, like the price of Ethereum, of the political situation of a country, or something like that. It was mind blowing, because the possibilities still now are huge. There are still so many things we can invent and we can find with async. So my mind was blown, and since then, to me, it's the most revolutionary platform that exists. The only one that really created something. The other one are just selecting, curating. But we had with async, we had really something new, and now that I saw what they're doing right now with music, and I can't wait to see both visual and music mix to get some audiovisual programmable experience, and I can't wait to work on this.
Well, thank you. That's like very kind of you to say, and you know those words obviously mean so much to the entire async team, and they hold a lot of how do you say it, like a lot of gravitas, coming from you. I do think that, like, from the very beginning, async has definitely focused on the innovative aspects, how we can bring art and create art and bring it to the next level. How can we make it interactive and different? And so, when you were starting to do this, and when you were starting to sort of create artwork on async, what was the feature that sort of like really intrigued you and made you feel like, oh my God, this is like something that's going to be used in the future? It's something that's very good.
What I realized the day of the first auction, when we did the first supper, is the power of owning a layer. I realized that the guy who was collecting the layer had the power on the future of this piece, and I wanted to work on this empowering thing. And the piece I had the idea the night of the auction of my second piece on async, that was the Dictatorship. And on the Dictatorship, I decided to keep all the power to myself. And there are dozens of layers that I still have to use, that I can still play with. So this is an artwork that will never be over. There are scripted changes. There are random changes. For example, the sky is never the same. There are different mixes of different skies and different position of those skies. So there's a big chance you never see twice the same sky, and I have the possibilities to interact with it so much that it will never be completely over. And right now I'm waiting for some kind of a tool that would make me able to preview the changes I made in real time. That's what was promised, and that's what I'm waiting for, to really interact with it as I would like to. Because right now all I can do is move for a few millimeters on the left and then wait for the test blockchain to show me what it looks like, and it's not really how I wanted to precisely play with it. So there's still a lot to come with this piece. And so I wanted to. It's called the Dictatorship because there's only one owner. The master is owned by the famous Basileus, that is owning almost all my Async pieces.
I think he's watching right now. He was very
I
excited.
think so.
Yeah.
I hope he
Very
is.
excited.
I hope he is. He made the wonderful thing. He bought Cunégonde, the first day, the day of the first auction of Async, and he gave me back one of the layer because he decided that this layer would have his master would have more value if the layer was belonging to the artist. So he bought something from me, and then he sent it back to me. That's the kind of thing that can only happen in this new world.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So
and going back to,
go ahead, Nicole.
No, I was going back to like the First Supper, which I think is such an emblematic, and symbolic, piece and collaboration. Probably, one of the first real collaborations between crypto artists and OG crypto artists, really, if we have to be totally honest. How I'm curious, how did that start? And what's the story there?
That started with Conlan, where once everyone was convicted that this was the next revolution, and everyone was super excited, and it went so easily. I never saw a project going so fast and so easily than this one, because everybody understood what he had to do. Everybody wanted to be in, and was so proud and honored to be in this, that it was really pretty fast, and it was very joyful and fun, because we had the possibility to play with a new toy, and everyone was and you can see this when you see the painting. It's completely messy. There's lots of color, lots of happiness, lots of joy in this one. It's not dark at all, and it looks. You can see that everybody had fun doing this, and yes, it stays one of the best memory I have in this NFT project, and it connected us, and it also connected us to collectors, because what Async is doing is also connecting artists and collaborate and collector into a collaboration, because the collector becomes artist and so that was really a great connection at another level between us all, artists OG. We already knew each other, but it was the first time that we were all together in a Discord server talking about the same project, and sharing our work in real time and things like that. So yeah, it was a great moment.
A lot of money. Can we talk a little bit about your specific layer? Is it possible to sort of go to his layer, and can you expand on sort of what you were thinking when you were creating your layer for this?
I wanted to stay in my style. I wanted to bring a little fun in this picture, so I decided to have a character. So it's Apollo. It's from an Apollon paintings, where he's holding in his hand a crown of leaves, and he's showing it to the sky. So I wanted to ridicule him and turn him in having the different possibilities for the collector to to make jokes and to have fun in this to bring humor in this piece, depending on everything that was around. So you have some kind of a devil, you have some kind of a future Californian surfer that had a lot of body modifications. You have a military with a huge bomb that is ready to blow all the places if things are not going his way. And I think that there's a fourth one. Can you scroll down to the? It's been a long time now. I remember 3 of them, but I think there were 4. 4 different states. Let me check on my side.
I don't know if we'll be able to see.
Oh, yes, yeah. No, I'm not sure you can see them. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I guess there were 4 of them. Yes, and I also did the doors on the right side. I wanted it to be different exit, so there's one there's a TV with God that is watching how the supper is going, and I wanted also to have a door that was taking people outside. So I've got some kind of cyberpunk street on one of them. A distributor of blood and a distributor of wine and bread also. So you can pick different things. And when the auction started, my layer was one of the first to be sold, and it was quite low. People were not that excited about the layer. It was the beginning of the day, and then the Coldy layer was bought for a fortune, and right after that, every other layer skyrocketed to the sky. So I was a little sad that my layer was sold first on this one, but I had the chance to have my Kunigon auction at the total end of the day. So everybody who was frustrated not to be able to buy anything before made some kind of revenge bid on my auction at the end. So it was pretty good in the end.
Amazing. Well, and one of the things that I notice about your artwork is that it's almost, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I reminisce it and I think about it in terms of like almost like Dada art, in the sense that there's like a lot of things going on, a lot of different collage aspects that you sort of combine together and you sort of put together into one space, and it works together to tell a story. And so like one of the things that has really, and I was not, oh, look at that. I think Basilius just triggered. Yes, thank you, Basilius. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Very, very
Hi,
cool.
man.
He just triggered the layer.
Yes, that's awesome. Yes.
Hi, my friend. Great.
That is the power of AsyncArt right there. Just amazing. So very, very cool.
Yeah, actually, that's I think that's super cool, and it's something that you mentioned as well a lot around like giving collectors a real like sense of ownership, but not only from like owning a piece or a token, but actually being able to move around with it, like to action on it, to really like have a be like a part of the art as well, which I think is so powerful. So it's
I think we still have to work on this. There will be. I'm looking for a way to give more creativity possibilities to the collectors, but still staying in a field that I've decided. So I'm trying to find a way to make more possibilities, changes from the collector, and trying to keep as much as possible control at the same time. So that's what I'm searching right now. We were talking about a project with Lulu X, that is a French artist too, and we've got a project on Async, and we're waiting for the team to be done with all the music stuff, and we're gonna bug you with something a little more complicated than usual.
Love it. Well, and so what I was saying before Basilius triggered that is that your style is very much like pulling together several different elements to tell like a larger narrative of this, and I personally I love that. I think it's really great, and I think one of the things, I was not there, I was not hired by Async for the First Supper or Cunigond, but I was there for EthBoy, and I remember how amazing that whole process was. and I'd love to sort of like have you talk about the process. I know how, you know, sort of complicated it was, but this is definitely one of our iconic pieces on AsyncArt in the sense that it is triggered and it follows the price of ETH and Bitcoin. And so, you know, if you can sort of like talk a little bit more about that, I'd love to sort of pick your brain about the process and that and how you went about it.
Yes, it was our third collaboration with Trevor Jones, and we decided that we wanted to make something on the Async platform with him. And he had this painting that is from it's painting from Picasso. It's his son Paul in a clown costume. That I think that's the name of the painting, Paul in a clown costume. And Trevor had worked on it and made a Vitalik key, some kind of a kid Vitalik on this, and we decided to have an interaction with the price of Ethereum, the price of fees on Ethereum, and also a little ticker for the Bitcoin. So the whole background is moving. So you've got Vitalik that is going up when the price is going up and going down. So when we started. We started in the middle of the progression. So Vitalik was able to go down to hell or up to the moon, and right now he's up to the moon, and he went a little faster than we thought to the moon. we were not expecting Ethereum to go so high that fast. So right now he's a little stuck at the moon. We still have the closes that are changing color depending on the fees. When the closes are red, like today, it means the fees are very high, and when the closes are green, it means the fees are low. The little butterfly with the Bitcoin logo on the wings, his vertical position is random, but his horizontal position is going to depend on the price of Bitcoin. So it's moving every day, all the time, and it sometimes end up on the nose of Vitalik. And we also sent 4 different accessories to one of Vitalik wallets, and he has the possibility one day to change one of this layer. He haven't right now. We're still hoping that one day he will, and he might change completely the face of the artwork once he will.
That will be the day.
Insane.
Yeah. And it was a pleasure to work with Trevor Jones painting as always, because I get the possibilities to really dive into his picture and to zoom in and to cut it, and I can see his work, and I can see how he picks his color and his palette and everything, and that's always fascinating for me, because painting is not at all my world, and I'm always fascinated to work with Trevor, and he's an excellent friend and such a cool person.
I think that there's something to be said about this as well, in the sense that, you know, this truly is a visual, like live painting and virtual collaboration, and in that sense it makes this piece like really kind of stand out. You can tell the distinct different parts, and you can also, you know, sort of see where the work has, you know, which type of work and where it has been done, and it makes it really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. What about, so let's talk a little bit about Māo Māo, Big Trouble in Māo Māo City, because I think that's another one where you sort of had to work with a lot of different collaborators, and this time you did it for a cause.
Yes. Yes, it was a Coldy's project. At first, he decided to ask artists to make artwork for a charity that was saving feral cats and helping them, feeding them, curing them when they were sick and things like that. And I always had animals. I always had cats since I can remember, and I wanted to be part of this. So I had to. There were different themes, and there was one of them, and I decided to make something a little photorealistic. You know, there were pixel art that were chosen by another team, and so There were a few people that were in the chat that decided to work with me. We were 10 artists, I think, on this. So I made the background of all the background, and the street was the starting point. In fact, so everybody received this background, and the idea was to have a scene where cats were fighting in a world where cats have won. Cats have ruled the internet, and soon after that they have ruled the world, and they still have our buildings and our houses to live in, but everything now belongs to them. So that was the point. And in the background, you can see the big statue of their god, the cat, the cat god that is here.
I feel like this, async as a platform also kind of allows for, I guess, easy collaborations with artists, because everybody can have their kind of piece, their layer. So it's a real way to basically allow for collaborations, and that's why there's so many of these collaborations happening, like even huge collaborations.
This and the fact that Async is the almost only platform I know that integrates collaboration in the contract itself. So there's automatically a share of the sales for everyone, and that's the only way. That's the only platform I know that makes it possible right now. All the other makes me share my what I earn into and send it to the other artists. It requires trust, in a trustless world. Good thing we're honest and kind people.
I will say, I have to say, that's a really interesting sort of aspect that I, having never only minted on the music side and never collaborated with anyone. Actually, like that's sort of a unique feature to me that I'm hearing, but it doesn't surprise me because from the very beginning, Conlin and really the entire team, they are super collaborative, and they actually like encourage that aspect when making that AsyncArt the smart contract, and I think there's something really special to be said, because it's not, obviously there are lots of collaborations that happen across, we just had one like a couple of months ago between several artists, and it's really powerful. I mean, it looks like many different styles, and all sorts of, just like a hodgepodge of different images and artistic styles, but there's something about it that brings it together and shows like visually a community that's on the blockchain and in the NFT community, which is really quite unique and awesome. I love that.
Yes, it is. And the fact that the people can work on different layer autonomously, you can everybody knows that it's gonna get a specific space or a specific thing, so you can start working on that kind of project on your own and mix everything together at the end. That's one of the things that makes it easy to work on a layer project with several artists.
Oh, Mikhail, I think you're muted there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, definitely, absolutely, I completely agree. And it's super nice. Like I love the fact that all of these collaborations, especially the Big Trouble in Māo City and like First Suffer, have like so many different styles, but at the same time they fit so well together. It looks like it's actually one artist that has made it. Rather, like, it's crazy because it fits so well.
Even if some people decided to draw, the starting point was a photorealistic style. So everybody that went in knew that they would have to work with photos or 3D models that are close to reality or things like that. So that gives some kind of unity. And there's also the fact that the background was created first, gave some kind of a color palette, to work with to some artists. Some decided to follow, some decided not to, but in the end it looks so great. And the owner of the cat have the possibility to change the state of the cat, the position. They have different position, but they also have the possibilities to place them and to decide of the direction the cat is facing or things like that. So I hope people are having fun and trying to play and to have real cat fights, because they have many crazy position they can use to make the artwork different every time.
And speaking of the cats, I do just want to bring to attention that Basilius just changed a layer in Māo Māo City, so we can take a look at that updated layer. Thank you, Basilius, for doing that.
How do I do that? Tell me.
I think if you go on the master and you kind of look at it, which one is? Let's see. A lot of money. Where is yours?
My cats, everything that's happening in the sky, on the top left corner, you got a cat here, and so this zone and the sky all around was my zone. So when you see something happening, when you see something happening in this area, it's mine.
Amazing.
You know that this piece reminds me of I can't get, the Disney
Aristocat.
Yes. It's really like a modern version of it. As soon as I saw it, I thought, this is, like the ending when they're all kind of like, ruling the town, basically.
Yes. Yeah, you can say that. Yes, that was the same thing. They won. They won, and they're quite happy, but they're still fighting their cats.
Yeah. Amazing. So now we've gone through several features here of your work so far. We've seen the collaborative aspect. We've seen the layer changes that multiple people could own. We've seen the autonomous areas where something is tethered to the price of Bitcoin or the price of Ethereum. Is there a particular feature that you see as a preference in the future of your art making on the Async platform, or is there like a feature that you are looking for that you wish to see that I can wink, suggest to the team as we move forward?
I got ideas, but I don't want to talk about them right now because I got ideas and I got things I would like you guys to think about and work on. And as I was saying, I can't wait for a way to have audio-visual changes. To have a layer state that made it possible to have a different soundtrack when the layer is changed. So it could be so many different things, But once it would be possible to do it. I have plenty of ideas for this, where collectors would be able to change the visual and also to change completely the meaning of the piece with the music that would be behind. It could be something quite happy or quite scary depending on the music, and to show the relation that there is with an image and sound. As soon as you put sound on an image, you can change totally what it means and totally the message. So I think it would be great to play with this.
Noted, Sam. And I guess zooming a bit out of Async specifically, and like talking about crypto art in general, and also since I actually just went to look at when we were looking at EthBoy, it was 6 months ago, and honestly, it feels like it was like years ago. I remember that it was one of the first pieces that when I opened the page, I thought, oh wow, this is like amazing. And I remember we did like a video about it and like documented like how it was moving. And now that I saw that it was 6 months ago, honestly, I was baffled that it was just 6 months ago. But back to my question, like zooming a little bit out, like what, a lot has changed, especially since this year. It's kind of boomed. Like what, how do you see the space like growing and moving forward, and what are things that you'd like to make sure that stays within the space?
I think things are well in place right now. We had some kind of an explosion with the Beeple effect, what I would call the Beeple and the NBA Top Shop effect. People saw millions getting in NFTs, and people got into NFTs for the wrong reason, many people. And we had some kind of an explosion of prices and an explosion of everything that is now going down, but that's completely normal. I think people. I was talking about this with the eclectic method this day, and I think people making art will continue making art whatever happens, even if Ethereum goes back to $100 or goes to 10,000. It will not change anything for people making art because they have to do it. It's you're some kind of a dysfunctional human being when you're an artist. You have to do things, or you're not living happy. So for artists, it's not going to change anything. Yes,
Here's
hi man.
watching.
But I think that for people who came here just to sell NFTs, I think these people are gonna try to find something else, because right now with the price of Ethereum skyrocketing, it's not gonna be that easy to sell something to anyone. So the people wanted to make fast money will try something else. We'll go to DeFi or anything else. We see that right now on some platforms. People are buying art and waiting 2 weeks, and if 2 weeks after they bought it, the price has not doubled, they're selling it for a loss and going on on something else. So it wasn't good for artists anyway. Even if most of them had a chance to make more money during this March and April period where everybody was fond of NFTs. But I think things will continue to grow as they were growing in 2018 and 2019, and people already in place will stay where they are. There will not be many move. Many people from the outside world can try to get in. Many artists that were pretty successful outside of NFTs tried to get in, and some of them without success. And I think that that showed that it's not just about popularity right now. It's more about understanding how all of this works, and people who were there 2 years ago have a better chance of getting it right now.
Do you think
Yeah,
what do you
agree.
think? So just out of curiosity, and I would be really interested to hear your opinion on this. What do you think?
With your special guest.
Yes,
Yes.
I love it. What do you think? Oh my God! Yes. Is he part of your art making too?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's calming me down, and
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So okay, so what do you think? What do you think the future? What are we going to see in 2 years in this space? Do you think it's going to continue expanding and sort of growing with artists, or do you think that there's going to be a cooling off period and then it'll sort of stabilize over time? What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be like something like influence people making videos on YouTube. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to find their audience, people that are going to find their collectors, and there's going to be a huge amount of people who the only dream we had as a graphic designer and artist was to work for a big company and to have a cool job where you were doing interesting things. Now there's another option, is doing whatever the fuck you want and find someone who loves it and buys it from you. And there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to make millions. Not everybody's going to be a Beeple, but there's going to be so many people that are going to be able to make a living out of their art, out of their music. And I think that's what we're going to see more and more. NFTs are going to become everything. Your birth, the birth certificate of your grandchildren will be an NFT. Your wedding certificate will be an NFT. Everything will become NFT, and people will not even realize that it is. But I think that's where we are going. So we're still talking about NFTs right now because it's pretty new, but soon we will not use this term anymore, because it will be the only way to have a unicity, to have a contract, to have anything written and definitive, and we would get rid of intermediary, people in the middle that are always taking up something in the middle are gonna little by little disappear completely, and we're gonna connect with each other directly with a smart contract and NFTs.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think it's absolutely true, and I do think that there's also, as you mentioned, absolutely before, there was this big hype and also this big kind of hope as well. Come to NFTs, like it's easy money and you can make
Yeah,
money in like
yeah,
5 minutes or 10 minutes, and that kind of died down. It's because it's not really the case. Like the
yeah,
reality is that it doesn't happen. It's not a big kind of money bank.
yeah,
There's a whole community that is behind it. There's like a process. There's an artistic background. There's a history. So that
yeah.
has a value.
Yes, and many celebrities have tried to make a cash grab on it and to use NFTs as an ATM to get some more cash, and lots of them have failed big time doing it. Some of them made it because they were a little bit smarter and to do this, but most of them did it with a very low effort, and it showed it was a good thing, because if they had success doing so, it would have bring us all down, I think. So it's I think right now it's pretty healthy that it's not easy to get in this world. It means that right now we are still early.
Well,
Yes,
and I
100%.
saw Mocha posted a status. I think, Nicole, you actually sent it to me, or I don't remember. But Mocha posted a status the other day that was sort of talking about the idea that what we're going to see in the future is artists who really sort of like put a lot of thought and have a story behind the artwork that they do and a message. So those are the artists that are going to prevail in this space, and also the ones that will sort of like continue legitimizing and making the space a bigger entity over time. But it's going to take a lot of thoughtfulness. It's going to take a lot of innovation, and also like process and sharpening of skills in order to get to that point. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, yeah, and we're going to see very beautiful thing. I think it's just the very start of it, and everything is still in some kind of a beta mode. Even the platform, even the way the art is not stored on the blockchain, things like that. Everything is gonna evolve in the right direction. Everybody is asking the right question right now, and I can't wait to see what's next for us.
And on this, actually, and just to close it off, what's next for you? Is there anything specific that you can share with us? Any project that you're working on?
Yes, but tomorrow there's the end of the auction of Maker's Place. There's the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin Chronicle. The Bitcoin Chronicle by the notfungible.com. And so I was in charge of the year 2010. So the year 2010 was the year where 83 million of Bitcoin were stolen by a hacker. It was the year where somebody bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoins online. It was the year where Satoshi said goodbye and never came back. So I tried to illustrate all of this, and the auction is ending tomorrow on Maker's Place. And I also have another project with the famous eclectic method that just talked to us a few minutes ago. It's about robots, and it's about the bionic car of I don't even know how you say that in English. A choral, people singing in church. How do you say that in English?
Choir?
Oh,
Chorale?
choir.
Yeah, choir. That's what. Yes. So we're helping robots right now. It was there is a bunch of 8 robots that decided to have a choir, and we're helping them. And that's our next project. We're working on this, and it's going to be for this month, certainly on Super Rare.
Amazing.
So it's going to be an
Great
audiovisual production, and we have many ideas for those robots. So maybe we'll come to see you, I think, soon with maybe new robots, because many robots will want to be part of this, I think, once it's launched.
Amazing. Man, choirs everywhere nowadays in the NFT space, apparently.
Super. Well, thank you so much. Thanks a lot of money for the great
Thanks
chat.
to
It
you.
was super good to speak. Thanks, Sam, for co-hosting. Super to have you. And also a plug to our sponsor, which this month is Coda Dot, and they're rolling out an NFT infrastructure that basically works on low carbon blockchain and is community owned and is a carbon negative NFT marketplace. So after this, thanks all so much. Thank you for everybody who's watching. I know Basilius was actually watching. He commented on Twitter as well. So yeah, super. Thanks a lot.
Thanks to
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.